check. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the CHI Health Center, Omaha, Nebraska, as BLK Prime pay-per-view enters the boxing world in a massive way. Right behind this banner, we have a giant arena that comes Saturday night will be filled to the rafters for the long-awaited return of the pound-for-pound king and hometown hero, Terence "Bud" Crawford, and facing him will be the upset-minded David Avanesyan. The WBO welterweight championship will be on the line. My name is Lupe Contreras, and joining me on stage we have the aforementioned main event tomorrow night, along with a absolutely packed undercard. Some of the top young talent in the sport facing off against their toughest opposition to date. We will begin our press conference momentarily, but before we start, I'd like to introduce to you and welcome to the stage boxing legend, former world champion and BLK Prime ambassador, the one and only Super Zach Judah.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have an action-packed night. You see here, both sides are ready. Everybody's ready, locked and loaded. Tickets are still available right now, so everybody can log in right now and get some more tickets if you need it. You can go to blkprime.com right now and log in and order the pay-per-view. And this is going to be an action night, packed fights, and I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm going to just sit back and watch this. Okay, back to you, my guy.
Thank you very much, sir. As we mentioned, we do have our main event on the stage, but also joining us. We'll start from my right side over here, all the way in. Local hometown hero, also putting his undefeated record on the line, 17-0, 14 KOs, Steven Nelson will be opening up our telecast tomorrow night. 8 pounds light heavyweight division will be facing off against the fight out of Detroit, Michigan, James Ballard. Followed up by a heavyweight clash that for 6 rounds or less, also undefeated. Hailing from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, we have Jeremiah Dreamland Milton. Facing off against the heavy hitter out of Ohio, DeJuan Calloway. Followed up, we have 2 world title contenders from Odessa, Ukraine, Arnold Kagai. And the rugged fighter out of Mexicali, Mexico, Eduardo Baez, set for 10 rounds in the super bantamweight division. And in our co-feature, MMA legend, Chris Cyborg enters the boxing world making her U.S. debut. And she will be welcomed into the boxing world by Gabrielle Holloway. And as we mentioned, the highly anticipated main event, 4 years in the making, his return to Omaha, Nebraska. It is the WBO welterweight championship on the line. It is BLK Prime pay-per-view here at the CHI Health Center. We have the undefeated pound-for-pound king, hometown hero, Terence Crawford. Across the way, we have the upset-minded and very dangerous David Avanesyan. Let me start with you, Steven So-Called Nelson. Your career was chugging right along. You were fighting on some of the top shows in the country on national television. Then you suffered an injury, a pretty traumatic injury to your Achilles tendon. Walk us through that injury and the long road back and what we can expect from you this coming Saturday night.
I was training 2021 for a fight in March. And I was in the gym and I was training and this popped. I was like, wow, my career over that fast. But I did what I was supposed to, did physical therapy, and I'm back. I've been training all year. I've been in multiple camps, getting ready for fights and everything. So, I'm here now, ready to put on a great show. From the walkout to the first punch to the last punch. I'm ready.
Now you're known for your walkouts. Obviously, you fought on some of the big shows here in Omaha. None bigger than tomorrow night. What can we expect from the walkouts? Any little preview that you have for us?
Oh man, you gotta wait. I'm always here to put on the show. As a matter of fact, I got some notes right now. Big like this. Shout out to BLK Prime. Yeah, shout out to BLK Prime for giving us the opportunity. First off, praise to God, getting this here. Oh, so here we go, talk trash to the opponent. Oh yeah, I hope you're ready, man. Hey, I feel bad for you. It's my first fight back. I'm amped, I'm motivated. I've been training hard for this. So I'm sorry you had to sign a contract for this, but be ready. I'll be ready, bro.
Speaking of your opponent, James Ballard, you're a Detroit fighter. Obviously, Detroit has a tremendous history in boxing. Fighters like Joe Louis, Tommy Hitman Hearns, Emmanuel Stewart. Tell us about what it means to you to follow the footsteps of such great and notable names in the sport of boxing. And tell us a little bit about that Detroit style, that Detroit heart you can bring in the ring Saturday night.
Well, how you doing, everybody? I'm gonna tell you like this. We don't come to play no games. At the end of the day, we in there to provide a service to our opponent. It's to sit them down, and that is it. Or knock them out, or I'm not trying to leave nothing up to the judges. I'm really not. But at the end of the day, to move swiftly throughout the boxing community back in Detroit, it's tough because, there's no reason to get in the ring with a Detroit fighter if you're not mentally ready to do the impossible. That means put the person down as fast as you can or come up with best combination that you've worked on. It really doesn't sit well to a Detroit fighter that knows what he knows in old school training. Like when you brought up Tommy Hearns and Emmanuel Stewart, well, it's trainers before them, it's fighters before them that came up, at the end of the day, I just want to do like this. It's trainers and it's fighters that y'all never hear about that actually push these great fighters to be what they should be. You don't get to hear about these guys. And I kind of fall up under one of these categories. Actually I should have been in the lights, up under the lights, up under the big shows like this. But the injury he had, the same injury I had. I told myself I can walk it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't sit back and just it's over. No, I'm gonna keep going until I can't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? When my mind goes, I'm gone. That's how I see it. So I know he had a sense of this, of what he wanted to happen. But at the end of the day, y'all get to see me fight. Y'all get to see what I can do. Y'all get to see what I bring to the table. And the main thing I'm bringing to the table is my favorite punch. Would you like to know what that is?
I am dying to know what your favorite punch is.
The one that connects. The one that connects, I'm doing it all night. The one that connects. So, Mr. Nelson, I'm ready. You got one choice. You can go home right now, chill, or we can meet up tomorrow and throw them things and go get the burger tomorrow.
That was two. You punched your first, bro. You me too. You got an ultimatum.
I see you tomorrow.
Show up, make weight, and get in the ring. That's your ultimatum. That's it. That's all I got for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that bout opens up the action.
7-0 right now, 6 knockouts. But, sometimes it's not about the record, it's about who you walk with, who you step with. I'm around all the greats, train in Las Vegas. I've had opportunity to spar world champs, the guys in the division of the sport, the who's right now. A great amateur record. And just my mentality, my heart, where I belong. I'm the supporting role right now to the man right now, Terence Crawford, I'm happy to play that part. You look at my fights, I've always put on viral performances in such a short amount of time. I just love being in that supporting role, man, sharing another stage with, pound to pound, the best boxer in the world right now. It's an amazing opportunity. So I'm showing what Oklahoma do, Black Wall Street, Dreamland.
The one count, when you look at your record, you're 5-1. The one thing that stands out, all those victories, 5 KOs. Power is what resonates when you look at your record. How are you going to utilize that power come Saturday night to take away Mr. Milton's O on his record?
It's not just power, I got skill too. I proved that Saturday night. So I'm just ready to take care of business. It's a business trip. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's part of our undercard this upcoming Saturday night. 6 rounds or less heavyweight division, Jeremiah Milton. The upset minded the Juan Calloway making part of the debut of BLK Prime pay-per-view. We continue with the action. One of our featured bouts on the undercard, we have 2 world title contenders facing off in a 10-round bout in the super bantamweight division. Fighting out of Odessa, Ukraine, we have Arnold Kagai. Now Arnold, you were on the brink of perhaps fighting for a world title, and you suffered a setback. What does a win for you do this upcoming Saturday night to put you back in world title contention?
Hello everybody. Sorry, my English not perfect. What I think about this Saturday.
Correct. How does this put you back on the world stage with a victory over Eduardo White?
This fight is very important for me. I did good camp, good sparring. I think it's a next step for a belt. I'm very happy for this fight. Don't miss this fight this Saturday. Thank you.
Eduardo, I was looking over my notes, and you had one of my favorite quotes of the week. You said when you were asked what do you expect from this war, your answer was, I expect a gruesome war. Tuviste una de mis respuestas favoritas en las notas que veo. Te preguntaron, ¿qué esperas de esta pelea? Y tu respuesta fue, yo espero una guerra espantosa. Explica esa respuesta.
Bueno, pues caracterizan a los mexicanos porque damos unas guerras, un show arriba del ring, y esta pues no va a ser la excepción, ¿no? Estudiamos a mi rival, sé que tiene muchos recursos y con el favor de Dios vamos a ir con la mano en alto y muy contentos de que va a ser un show, un espectáculo, sí va a ser un espectáculo la pelea.
Basically, because as a Mexican fighter, that's what you showcase as a Mexican fighter. I studied my opponent. I know he's very skilled. And with the favor of God come Saturday night, we're not only going to put on a great fight, we're going to put on a spectacle. And with the favor of God, that's what I hope to deliver to you guys this upcoming Saturday night. Our co-feature bout this upcoming Saturday on BLK Prime pay-per-view, we have the MMA legend herself, Chris Cyborg. Now, Chris, you've accomplished pretty much everything there is to do in mixed martial arts. Invicta FC champion, Bellator champion, Strikeforce champion, UFC champion. What prompted you to make the leap into the boxing professional ranks?
No, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for everyone here. 18 years doing MMA, and now where I'm at, doing boxing fight. For me, I was in my praise. I say, God, and I live my life doing any sport you put me. And He sent me here. So, I love to fight. I enjoy fight. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. Fight Terence Crawford and all the fighters here. And I'm going to do my best. I've been training, I've been learning. I'm going to teach thank you, Benavides team, for all the support. And I love fight. I'm born for this. And I'm going to give you a show for you guys Saturday.
Yes! Hey! If you are successful Saturday night, or most likely, like I say, when I am successful after Saturday night, there are many dream matchups in boxing that could include your name. What are some of those dream matchups you look forward to down the line in professional boxing? What are some of the names that you want to get in the ring?
First I like to see the person in front of me, and I'm doing great this Saturday, and it goes slowly, and the big fight is gonna come in, and I'm gonna be ready. I'm not gonna say the name, I'm just gonna do my best Saturday.
Gabriel, you have the pleasure of welcoming an MMA legend into the boxing world. Is there added pressure for you as a boxer? Do you feel like you're representing boxing when you're welcoming someone coming from a totally a similar discipline, but obviously a very different sport into the boxing world?
I don't think there's any added pressure, just because Cyborg is a legend, but right now she's my opponent, so that goes out the window.
Now you have twice as many professional bouts as she does. How do you feel that experience will help you? And what have you seen in her stand-up game that you think you can utilize Saturday night?
I guess we'll have to wait and see Saturday night.
All right, we will wait and see. We're at the highly anticipated co-feature of the night. And our highly anticipated return, our main event, as we mentioned, BHL Prime. BLK Prime pay-per-view jumps into boxing in a massive way. On the line, the WBO Welterweight Championship, and his hometown hero, pound for pound king, Terence Crawford, facing off against the upset-minded and the very dangerous David Avanesyan. Now, David, let me start with you. You've been in this role before. You have been the guy that has been brought into the hometown hero's town, the undefeated fighter's town, and you seem to thrive in that particular atmosphere. What is it about you? What is it about your game that you've been so successful in that role?
Hi everybody, hi, I'm Maha. Всем привет, кто смотрит, ребят, Instagram, Barine. Listen, this is big fight, good fight. I have good camp. It's my job. Saturday, I need to go ring and give everything for this fight. I need to win this fight.
In some of my notes, I noticed you said, everyone is talking about him. Everyone is talking about him. My name really isn't being mentioned. I don't think that they realize what a great fighter I am. I'm here not only to win this fight decisively, but I'm here to shock the world. Picture for me, what does it say Sunday morning when David Avanesyan shocks the world? What do the headlines say with your name on it? What will the newspapers read? David Avanesyan does what?
Что дальше? Yeah, new, wake up a new champion. And go home and happy, take belt, go home, see my family. A long time to see my family, 3 months. What it means is, you go home, still happy, everything good. Listen, many boxers, no boxer, this boxer could understand. Many boxing fans, maybe only little drinky, sit up, see TV, say this is no good fight. David Avanesyan, who understand boxing, he knows who this is good fight. But he would say David before loss, listen, after loss, David show people it, David change now. And I know this is good fight. I'm happy for this fight. My God give me a big chance. And Saturday, I give everything for this fight. I do my best.
Terence, 4 years in the making, you're returning here to Omaha. Some of your biggest and most memorable moments have happened here inside of this arena. A few years back, you and I were talking, and I asked you, I said, is Omaha a boxing town, or are they a Terence Crawford town? And you said, it's a Terence Crawford town. Explain to me that relationship, and what is it between you and the city of Omaha that you've made such a connection with the fans here in Middle America?
Well, I think it all started when I was an amateur. Been a top amateur, been number one in the nation, and you know, carrying Omaha on my back for so long, fighting here, you know, in the Golden Glove Nationals, in the championship, and the finals. I think that's when Omaha really gravitated to Terence Crawford, and you know, for me to stand on bringing the big fights back to Omaha, being that there haven't been nothing like this ever before. They give back just like I give to them.
Seeing how David has mentioned that your name is the only one that's being showcased out there, is there a lot of pressure on you? Obviously, hardcore fans know what David has done. They know his accomplishments. They know that he's gone into undefeated fighters' hometowns before and upset the party, as they say. How do you feel when they don't mention his name and they talk about Terence Crawford? Is it all the pressure on you to make sure that this goes as planned this upcoming Saturday night? And how do you do that?
Look, like I've been saying in the interviews, I'm very focused. Been focused since day one on just one man, and that's him. We know what he brings to the table, but we're going to elevate, you know, to a higher level. And this Saturday, you know, we're going to be victorious, and you know, we're going to have a nice time doing it. We're going to have fun.
You guys have one opponent in common, which is Egidijus Kavalauskas. You say, in every training camp, I train like I'm fighting King Kong. What have you taken from his fight with Egidijus and your fight, and how do you incorporate that into Saturday night? What tactics will you be using?
I really can't, you know, look at too much of who he fought and how he fought him, because styles make fights, and you know, we both had two different outcomes in the fight with Egidijus. So, you know, when me and him fight, we're gonna make our adjustments, on the fly, and you know, we're gonna do what we do best, and that's shine.
This upcoming Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, the return of the pound for pound king. WBO Welterweight Championship on the line as BLK Prime enters the boxing world in a massive way. It is the pay-per-view, Crawford versus Avanesyan. We will be facing off our fighters right now before we wrap up our press conference and separate for individual interviews. Our opening bout, please welcome. Against the skillful and power-punching fighter out of Ohio, the Juan Calloway. Taking up part of our stacked undercard. It is BLK Prime pay-per-view. Crawford Avanesyan. Live from here in Middle America, Omaha, Nebraska.
Sticking time.
Our next bout to face off, two title contenders looking to get back on the world stage. 10-round super bantamweight division out of Odessa, Ukraine, Arnold Kagai. Facing off against the rugged Mexican fighter. It is Kagai Baez, 10 rounds or less, super bantamweight division. Our show features it for 4 rounds in the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
And now our main event, 12 rounds of WBO Welterweight Championship. Facing off the man here to stole the party, David Avanesyan.
Come on, David. Champion.
All right, guys. It's gonna be a long fight. Pound for pound. Thank you. See him home, boy. I'm still.
Новый чемпион, David.
All right, guys. Everybody, group up. All right. Gather in the middle. Yeah, this guy go through.
Can you go sideways a little bit? There you go, so we can get everybody in.
So cold.
Partner on the lip.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're expecting absolutely massive, raucous crowd this upcoming Saturday night. The return of the pound for pound king on BLK Prime pay-per-view. Terence Crawford versus David Avanesyan. The WBO World Welterweight Championship on the line as well.
YouTube family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.